like women's basketball, the game, how far it's come, the excitement, the attention. Maybe I'll start with you, Kels, because Lord Jesus, your team and their fans,
Jesus,
they be getting up in everybody's business.
She's a whole lot to take in. I mean, a little bit goes a long way. She's just really loud and really kind of obnoxious for lack of a better word. And I don't mean obnoxious like just people who are obnoxious and they're just insulting people all over the place and that kind of thing.
It finally happened. Someone inside the Indiana Fever locker room had enough, and they didn't stay quiet about it. And not just anyone. Kelsey Mitchell, one of the longest-tenured, most respected veterans in the entire WNBA, stood up and fired back. Why? Because Cha Ogwumike tried it again. With her trademark media smile and fake casual sarcasm, she dropped another slick little jab. But this time, she went too far. Lord Jesus, your team and their fans, they be getting up in everybody's business. A line meant to sound breezy, harmless. But that wasn't comedy, it was calculated. A direct shot at the Fever, at Caitlin Clark, at every fan who's dared to cheer too loudly. And this time, Kelsey Mitchell wasn't having it. See, we've all watched the slow drip of disrespect. Little comments, subtle jabs, passive-aggressive takes that try to downplay what Caitlin Clark and the Fever have done for the league. But Kelsey? She didn't flinch. She responded with clarity, with conviction, and with fire. I've seen both sides of it. Being here before Caitlin and now seeing what she's helped create, it's undeniable. She didn't just defend Clark. She defended the culture. She defended the movement. This wasn't some teammate tossing out a generic line of support. This was a franchise leader reminding everyone who really runs Indiana. Go where you're loved, not tolerated. That one hit deep. This is a player who could have left. She lost a parent. She had every reason to choose a different path, but she stayed. Why? Because Indiana is home, not just to her, but to a fan base that's been riding with her for 7 seasons, win or lose. Let's get one thing straight. Kelsey Mitchell is not a media darling. She's not on every ESPN panel. She's not running to drop hot takes. She's a hooper, a professional, a scorer who's finished top 10 in the league in 4 straight seasons. When someone like that speaks up, you listen, because it's not about clout, it's about truth. And here's where it gets real. Legacy voices in the WNBA media, Elle Duncan, Monica McNutt, Cheryl Swoops, and yes, Cha Ogwumike, have spent months doing Olympic-level gymnastics, trying to avoid saying the obvious. Caitlin Clark is the biggest thing to ever hit this league. But instead of celebrating her, they tiptoe. They downplay. They say things like, she hasn't proven anything yet, or it's not just her, it's the whole league growing. Sure, the whole league is growing, but who sparked the match? We all know. And don't forget, one of these experts even admitted it on air. Wouldn't you be jealous of someone who got a $28 million shoe deal before even playing a game? There it is. They don't want to say her name, because saying Caitlin Clark means admitting that a rookie just rewrote the rules, and that doesn't fit their narrative. Meanwhile, what does Clark do? She uses every spotlight moment to shine light on Kelsey. She said Kelsey Mitchell should have been Player of the Month. She praised her efficiency. She called her the real engine behind the Fever's resurgence. That's not media spin, that's respect, real chemistry, mutual admiration, and it's rare. Clark didn't need to do that. She chose to, and that's why Kelsey went so hard when someone tried to diminish her teammates' impact. Let's talk about the fans for a second. The same ones Cha shaded with her, they be getting in everybody's business line. Those fans, they're filling arenas. They're crashing online stores. They're making this movement possible. But somehow, they've been branded as toxic. Why? Because they're passionate? Because they cheer too loud? Because they don't follow the old school code of silence? Let's be honest. If this were the NBA, they'd be called die-hard. But in the WNBA, they get labeled as a problem. What we're seeing is a clash of eras. Cha, Elle Duncan, Monica, they represent the legacy mindset, carefully curated narratives, controlled growth, safe, slow, small. But Kelsey, Caitlin, the Fever, they're the movement, loud, real, powerful. They're not playing politics. They're just hooping, and they're changing the entire game. Even when the Fever were struggling, even when the spotlight moved on, Kelsey stayed. She didn't chase attention. She didn't demand a trade. She showed up. She scored. She led. And now, she's watching everything she built finally get the recognition it deserves. She's played the third most games in Fever history, ranks second in franchise scoring, holds the top 3 single-game scoring records. And yet, she's still showing up like she's got something to prove. So when Cha asked her about the explosion of women's basketball, thinking she'd get a safe, polite answer, Kelsey didn't hesitate. I think the rise of women's basketball has a lot to do with Caitlin Clark. Boom! You could feel the air shift. The smile slipped. The tension hit. The truth landed. That's why this moment matters, because it shattered the spin. It reminded everyone that behind all the polite panel talk, behind the media filters and roundtable discussions, the players know what's real. This isn't just about a basketball team, it's about culture. A culture of mutual respect, of vets and rookies backing each other, of fans who refuse to be silenced. That's what Cha and the others keep missing. They think they're commenting on games, but what they're really doing is trying to protect a fading version of the league, one where power stayed in certain hands and growth came slow. Indiana isn't playing by those rules. Kelsey Mitchell didn't just defend her teammate, she defended a vision, one where loyalty matters, where truth cuts through media noise, where fans aren't liabilities, they're lifeblood, and where a rookie phenom like Caitlin Clark isn't something to fear. She's the future. So if you're riding with Kelsey and Caitlin, drop their names in the comments. Let the haters know. This isn't a moment, it's a movement, and they're going to have to deal with it. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Click the video on the screen to see how Caitlin Clark just shattered another WNBA record and what it means for her rivals. We'll see you there.